He performed.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first?
It's funny,
He's doing all these things. Snoop is just really hilarious.
Snoop Dogg.
Man, Katt Williams just lit another fire in Hollywood, and this time he's aiming straight at Snoop Dogg. The streets are buzzing after Katt went on one of his classic rants, calling out the Dogfather with a bold warning, "You've been used." That line alone had fans losing it, but once Katt starts talking, you know it's deeper than just words. He's not the type to drop random shots. When Katt says something, he's usually pointing at something bigger happening behind the curtain. And now people are wondering, what exactly does he mean by used?
Your career down the road. People might not want to book you in Texas or Arizona or California.
Sir. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Let's let that.
Because if Katt's right, this might not just be about Snoop Dogg. It could be about the whole power structure that's been running Hollywood and the music game for decades. Let's be real. Katt Williams has built a rep for calling things out that most folks are too scared to touch. Whether it's about the industry's shady side, the gatekeepers behind fame, or the ways they try to control legends, Katt's been fearless with his mouthpiece. And now he's saying Snoop, the icon, the man with decades of respect, might have fallen victim to the same system he once rebelled against. That's wild.
I just want to say this real quick, not on the political shit. All you people for the federal government that not getting paid right now, ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid motherfuckers.
Was inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States of America. Snoop Dogg performed at the Crypto Ball. Now, Snoop Dogg, he got the backlash because people are like, wait, this isn't the same Snoop from 2016 who had so much to say about the artist performance.
Fans started piecing together what Katt could be referring to, especially since Snoop's been doing more Hollywood-style moves lately. Between his friendship with Martha Stewart, big corporate partnerships, and even his recent role in films, some people think Snoop has softened his image to fit the system instead of staying true to his West Coast roots. And if there's one thing Katt can't stand, it's when the culture's kings start playing by Hollywood's rules instead of their own. Now, this isn't the first time Katt's gone after industry figures, but the timing of this one is what really got folks' attention. See, lately, Snoop's been in headlines not just for music, but for his business deals. He's been rebranding, signing major sponsorships, launching products, and even showing up on TV in ways that feel a little too polished for the Snoop fans grew up with. Katt seems to think all that shine came with a price. In his words, they don't give you that much spotlight unless they own some of your light.
Yeah. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I'm cool. I'm together. Still a black man. Still 100% black.
That's the kind of bar that makes people sit up and think twice. A lot of fans started connecting this with Katt's past comments about how the entertainment industry manipulates certain black icons, rewarding the ones who play the game and silencing the ones who don't. So when he says Snoop's been used, it's not just about being taken advantage of by individuals. He's hinting at something deeper. Maybe that the higher-ups are using Snoop as a safe commercial face of hip-hop to keep the culture controlled. Crazy, right?
Oh, of course, Snoop has responded to the backlash he received for performing for a Trump event. One of the things he pointed out was that we always stick together. We're good at tearing each other apart, which is pretty constant. It's pretty consistent when somebody gets into trouble. It takes backlash from the community. It's always a communal thing. It isn't any action they took. It is the fact that we can't stay together, that we can't stick together, that it's us always attacking us. But that flies in the face of the reality of what's happening right now. It is not us who are tearing down affirmative action. It is not us who is tearing down DEI. It is not us who are tearing families apart. It is not us who have decided that affirmative action and rollbacks that have been that had precedent for 50, 60 years are gone. It is not us that is doing it. It is, I think most people are disappointed because they saw you a specific way, and you have a right to kind of interpret and do whatever artistically you want to. No one's begrudging you that. But why the attack on the community because they disagree with something you did?
But knowing Katt, he doesn't say stuff like that unless he's seen something firsthand. And let's not forget, Katt's been in those same rooms with the same execs, same cameras, same people pulling the strings. He knows how the game really moves. What really blew people's minds, though, was how confidently Katt spoke on it. There was no hesitation, no joking tone, none of that comedy flair. He sounded dead serious. It wasn't Katt the comedian speaking, it was Katt the truth teller warning someone he actually respects. He made it clear he wasn't coming from a place of hate, but from concern, like he's trying to wake Snoop up before it's too late.
Snoop is just really hilarious.
Snoop Dogg is funny,
He's doing all these things.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first?
They make you a mascot, not a man, Katt said in one of the clips going viral. And once they finish using you, they'll erase you. Those words hit hard, especially when you look back at how many stars from the 90s and 2000s went from top of the world to completely forgotten once they stopped playing the game. People online started digging up examples that kind of prove Katt's point. Look at how Snoop's image has changed over time, from death row's most feared rapper to the world's most lovable uncle. That's not necessarily bad, but some think it's the result of years of industry conditioning. Fans are saying Snoop might have had to trade that raw authenticity for safety and survival in the Hollywood machine. And when you think about how many times Snoop's had to reinvent himself, from gangster rap to gospel to comedy, it starts to look like he's been molded by something bigger than personal choice. Katt seems to be exposing exactly that. The fact that Hollywood uses black excellence as a brand, but never really lets the person behind it be free. This whole situation also got fans debating whether Snoop even realizes what's happening. Some say he's just evolving with time, learning to use the system to his advantage. Others, though, agree with Katt that the system's using him instead, shaping how people see him to fit a corporate agenda. Snoop ain't no sellout, one fan posted. He just knows how to play the game. But Katt's take feels more like the game is playing him. And that's the kind of message that hits deep, especially coming from someone who's been blacklisted by that same system. But here's what's really wild. This might not just be about Snoop at all. Katt's warning might be symbolic, using Snoop's name as a stand-in for every big artist or entertainer who's let Hollywood reshape them. You can almost hear Katt saying, "Wake up before they turn you into something you're not." And that's why the internet's divided. Half of social media thinks Katt's tripping, stirring drama for attention. The other half thinks he's the only one bold enough to say what everybody else is thinking. Either way, the energy online is explosive right now, and fans are watching Snoop's every move to see if he'll clap back or stay silent. Because one thing about Snoop, when somebody calls him out, he doesn't usually let it slide. And let's not forget, Katt and Snoop have history. These two aren't strangers. They've been in the same circles for years, shared stages, even shown mutual respect publicly. So for Katt to turn around and throw this kind of warning out in public, something must have really pushed him. Maybe he's seen too many real ones get caught up. Maybe he's tired of watching icons get turned into characters. Or maybe, just maybe, he's trying to make Snoop see that fame without freedom isn't worth it. Whatever the case, this moment's got everyone talking, and if Snoop does respond, this might be one of the biggest cultural clashes we've seen all year. Now the internet's in overdrive trying to decode every word Katt Williams said, and the theories are going wild. Some fans think Katt's warning wasn't just about Snoop's image. They believe he's hinting that there's something sinister behind Snoop's sudden rise in Hollywood influence. Like, think about it. 1 minute Snoop's this gangster rap icon who couldn't even get airplay, and now he's in commercials with Martha Stewart, on family TV shows, doing Olympics commentary, and sitting at tables with some of the most powerful corporate faces in the world. That's a major shift, and Katt's basically saying it didn't happen by accident. He believes Snoop's being used as the safe representation of hip-hop, someone who can sell the culture to the mainstream without scaring them. And that's the part that hit home for a lot of people who grew up seeing Snoop as a raw symbol of the streets. Katt's not saying Snoop's a bad person. He's saying the game around him got too polished, too political. He even brought up how real ones in the game often get replaced by industry-friendly versions of themselves where their edge is toned down and their message becomes corporate. And looking at Snoop's career lately, it's hard not to notice how clean his image has become. He went from a rapper that parents didn't want their kids listening to someone who's now hosting family-friendly shows. That kind of switch doesn't happen naturally in Hollywood. It happens when there's a strategy behind it. Katt believes the system rewards icons who become palatable to the mainstream while quietly stripping away their original identity. And when he said, "You've been used," he wasn't mocking Snoop. He was exposing how the industry manipulates power to keep control over influence. But here's where it gets even deeper. Katt's warning might also connect to the wave of industry partnerships Snoop's been signing lately. Snoop's been everywhere, from launching his own products to partnering with billion-dollar companies to even dabbling in tech and NFTs. Katt's issue is that these partnerships might not be empowering Snoop the way fans think. They might actually be limiting him. He's saying the more these corporations embrace someone, the more they own their narrative. In Katt's words, they don't give you the world unless they already own your soul. That line shook people up. Some say it's metaphorical, that Katt's just talking about losing authenticity. Others think he's literally hinting that Snoop signed himself into something dark without realizing it. Either way, it's got everyone debating how much control entertainers really have once they hit that level of fame. What's even crazier is that Katt's warning came right after Snoop started taking on new projects tied to the entertainment elite, like producing shows and joining boards that are run by some of the same people Katt has accused of exploiting artists. So it's no surprise that fans think Katt timed this on purpose. Maybe he's seen too many big names fall into that same trap, using their legacy to uplift a system that never really loved them in the first place. And Katt being Katt, he's not going to sit back and let another legend lose themselves for the sake of money and image. He's been screaming for years that fame is the new slavery, and this time, it feels like he's pointing directly at one of the biggest names in the game. Of course, not everyone's rocking with Katt's take. Some say he's jealous, that he's always coming after other celebrities when he feels sidelined. But if you followed Katt long enough, you know jealousy ain't his angle. Truth is, he's been blackballed, arrested, humiliated publicly, and still never stopped speaking his mind. If he was just chasing attention, he would have folded a long time ago. This man's been consistent with his message. Fame without freedom is a trap. So when he speaks on Snoop, he's doing it from experience, from knowing what those backroom deals look like, from watching people switch up just to stay relevant. It's less about beef and more about survival. He's trying to tell Snoop, don't let them turn you into a puppet. Still, fans can't help but wonder how Snoop feels about all this. Because if there's one thing about Snoop, it's that he's not afraid to speak up when someone calls him out. He's clapped back at legends before, from Suge Knight to Donald Trump. But so far, Snoop's been quiet, and that silence is only making this situation more intense. Maybe he's trying to process it, or maybe he's waiting to respond the smart way, through a podcast or a verse that flips the energy back on Katt. Either way, people know when Snoop finally says something, it's gonna shake up the whole culture. And let's be honest, these two are both cultural icons in their own way. Katt's the mouthpiece for the people who see through the illusions, while Snoop's the living example of what happens when someone from the bottom reaches the very top. They both represent different sides of the same struggle, but when those worlds collide, it sparks a conversation that the industry doesn't want to have. The one about who really owns the culture. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. Because this isn't just another celebrity disagreement, it's a reality check about how fame changes people, how money controls movements, and how real ones like Katt refuse to stay quiet while others get molded by the machine. Online fans are treating this like the beginning of something much bigger. Comment sections are split down the middle, some defending Snoop, others calling Katt a prophet. Tweets like, Katt been right about everything and they always clown the truth tellers are going viral, while others are saying, Snoop earned everything he got. Don't let Katt's paranoia ruin it. That divide is exactly what keeps both of their names trending, but underneath it all, you can tell people are really thinking, are our idols still free or are they just brands now? That's the uncomfortable question Katt forced everyone to face. What happens next is anybody's guess. If Katt keeps talking, this could explode into one of the biggest Hollywood showdowns of the year, a battle between truth and image, independence and control. And if Snoop decides to respond publicly, it'll either shut the narrative down or open a whole new chapter of transparency we've never seen before. Whatever goes down, one thing's clear. This isn't over. Katt just put a spotlight on something most people would rather keep in the dark, and now the whole world's watching to see how Snoop moves next. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment to keep the conversation going, because this story is only getting started.